All right, y'all. Just want to jump on here and do a quick one, man. Just do a live post fight discussion on this one before this main card starts. So, we're going to be on here for about like 20, 30 minutes. But yeah, man. What's up, Marcus? Yeah, man. We got to talk about this one just really quick. I mean, it went pretty much the way I felt it was going to go. Tereza Bleda, 30-27, Gabriella Fernandez. I mean, look, I think we all saw this coming. And it's like some of y'all tell me, man, like fighters that come into mixed martial arts that don't have the grappling foundation or like some type of wrestling, they usually end up on the end that you see Gabriella was on, right? All right. So when it came down to it, we can talk about how Teresa Bleda looked in her last fight, her getting stopped, dealing with a fighter with takedown defense. But when it came down to the pick in this one, they both were dealing with their kryptonites. But it comes down to what a lot of people tell me about MMA. It comes down to the fighter that has some type of grappling, some kind of a ground game to neutralize the fighter with just hands, right? And no takedown defense. And that's what Teresa Bleda did. When it came down to it, Teresa Bleda just continued to push forward and push forward and push forward and put that pressure on a fighter with no takedown defense and no ground game. All right. Now, Gabriella had her moments in the first round. And that's what makes her different than Natalia Silva. Like the number one thing I'm telling you that makes strikers effective in mixed martial arts is that footwork. Look at the footwork. I mean, it was non-existent. She would take a couple of steps back, wait for Bleda to get in the range, land a hard calf kick, land a couple hard shots, and then just take these little steps back because she was looking to load up, right? So with her just trying to load up these punches, Bleda just had to really pretty much avoid the strikes coming in one direction and keep pushing forward until she could eventually get her down. And that's what happened in the first round. Like Gabriella had somewhat of a momentum in the first round, for like the first couple of minutes, but she was not moving, So eventually Bleda just had to push in and get her down to the ground and do what I said, put her on her back again. So again, a fighter like Fernandez with no takedown defense and no ground game whatsoever, get stuck on her back. That's where she's going to stay, right? You don't even have to have the best grappling like to neutralize her. You just have to put her in that position in that half guard and keep her hips flat. And that's where she was the first round, just getting mauled constantly, And the second round was the same. She would take her steps back, try to land like some hard shots instead of, inching side to side. Like you have to kind of like inch in at a diagonal angle on a fighter like Teresa Bleda. You have to enter at an angle, whether it's right or left, to avoid getting taken down. So that way you can just pivot, turn, make her miss the takedown, and then you'll be on the inside to land a head kick or something. Like Natalia Silva was able to. Natalia Silva started timing them things so she was able to get off some spin kicks and finish her. So footwork is important for these strikers. So I'm thinking like with Gabriella, like with this striking background, she was going to add some footwork here, but there was none whatsoever. So that's really one of the main things that saved Bleda in this fight, taking on a fighter with no footwork whatsoever. All she had to do was avoid the strikes upstairs. But Bleda used a lot of energy in these first two rounds just to get these takedowns and fight the fight she wanted, right? And that's dangerous too. So I'm going to talk about that here in a minute because Teresa Bleda she was able to execute what she wanted to do, but if that's all you can do, that's going to be it's going to be hell moving forward. I mean, you can see it in this fight because Teresa kept Gabriella down for long periods in these rounds, but there was really no other way for her to like catch a break and try something else, like make an adjustment, try something else to avoid expending a lot of energy. So she took a lot of energy in the first round and the second round, taking her down and keeping her down, right? So going into the third round, whenever a fighter like Tereza Bleda has, that your gas tank is nearly on E, has no energy left, she becomes stationary. The stationary power puncher and Fernandez is going to start landing. And what she do? She started landing them left hands. Man, she cracked Blade a couple times, had her hurt. She had her hurt, put her back to the cage. I give Blade credit though. She showed her heart. It almost looked like she wanted to give up, like she was about to eat like an unanswered sequence, and the ref was gonna step in. I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was coming. I don't know about you, Marcus or Gary. What's up, man? I don't know if y'all saw that coming, but like whenever Blade went to the cage and her hands kind of went up, I thought she was about to eat a unanswered sequence and the ref was going to stop it. But she found that heart. She dug deep. She went in one last time for a takedown. Thought Gabriella was going to lock in a guillotine, but she got that slam. When she got that double leg, she picked her up, put her down, and that's what saved her in the third round. And that's all she had to do again. It gave her a second win. She put the forearms, started mauling Gabriella again, and just outworking her on the ground, just doing what she was capable of. You know what I mean? At this point, saving herself from knockout, gaining that second win, taking the back of Gabriella Fernandes and finishing the fight. Right. So good job, definitely good job on Bleda. But when it comes down to pushing forward, adjustments are going to need to be made throughout fights. Adjustments are going to have to be made for both. Because, I mean, number one, definitely Gabriella Fernandes. She's going to have to do something. Like when it comes to her ground game, her takedown defense. We know that. I mean, this is the second fight. She hasn't won a round yet in the UFC. Out of her two fights, she's lost every single round. She hasn't been finished. So that's just telling you she's lost 6 rounds. And what she needs to work on is what caused her to lose in every single round so far in the UFC, right? Bleda definitely got to work. Her striking, it's a big part of her. She's only 21 years old. Now's the time to develop some type of timing and speed while youth is on her side. With that reach she has. I mean, what she have, like a 4 or 5 inch reach difference, and this girl is 5'9". She needs to start using like head kicks and like front kicks, like long jabs. Bleda could do whatever she wanted if she had like a good strong jab, man, like a good strong 1-2. Putting the 1-2 together, that would be like, it would make her a dangerous fighter. If she could keep fighters at bay and then mask a takedown or two, she could do everything, So I don't know too. Like I'm glad she got the victory. It's going to push her in the right direction. She can go back and watch the tape, and so she can say, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to work on, because the division's going to get tougher from here. You know what I mean? So for a fighter like Bleda, I think big striking. Big striking changes are evident now. She's got to start. She's got to start training with some good kickboxing coaches that can help her use that length and that frame she has. She's in that Caitlin Kagan height. You know what I mean? She can have that type of style where she can, throw volume and actually have a ground game, because people don't understand, Caitlin Kagan, she's tall and long. She chooses to strike, but she has an underrated ground game, So, for Bleda, you don't want to be this type of fighter that just has to depend on takedowns. She depended on takedowns throughout this fight. I mean, she was lucky. That's what saved her. But yeah, pushing forward, there needs to be some type of variety when she faces some more of these girls in the flyweight division. But with that being said, let me check these comments in the comment section. Yeah, Gary Baldwin. Yeah, she got to work on the striking, man, big time. I mean, I saw her duck a few headshots. I was like, okay, her upper body movement looks okay. But then she started getting caught against a fighter that wasn't really using footwork in the third round. That got scary. Marcus said when Gabriella had her opportunity to finish Blade, she let her foot off the gas. I know, man. Like all she had to do was let like a couple uppercuts go, and maybe like a good 1, 2, 3, and that would have been it. You know, all that reach going to waste. Gabriella should have probably taken a break to improve or get cut. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there. You know, I was saying this too, man. Like somebody like Gabriella should have that in her mind. Like you got to come in with some type of strong ground game for real, like in the UFC. I know it won her a belt in LFA. The striking won her a belt, but no, there's got to be more work to be done. There's got to be more work added to her game now. Yeah, Marcus said he saw that coming. All right. Ian Baller said Bleda was a no-brainer, going to out-grapple her and beat her up. Bleda looks good and Jasmine looks good, so give Silva a ranked fighter. Give Natalia Silva. Yeah. Natalia Silva is fighting Andrea Lee. I just put a video out about it. She's fighting Andrea Lee August 19th, UFC 292. And Karine Silva is fighting. If you mean Karine Silva, she's fighting Marina Moreau on the same card. All right. Straight said 10 minutes of ground control, but she couldn't finish a fish out of water. She won, but has a lot of work to do. Yeah, they both got a lot of work to do. But that's the key, you know, that you need to, you know, to stay afloat in the UFC. You got to go in there and get the victory now. And got to be able to make adjustments in there. You got to be able to adjust in this type of fight. You know, you can't depend on one or two disciplines like just takedowns and constant top control, because nobody else in the division, I believe now, is going to be easy to take down like that. I mean, who else is there? I mean, even Ariane Lipsky has a good, she has a good approach at takedown defense now. The way she'll clinch, tie clinch your neck when you try to shoot in, and she'll knee you in the face or in the body. You know, so Ariane Lipsky's improving her takedown defense. JJ Aldridge is improving her takedown defense. So there's going to be a lot of fighters that are going to be hard to take down and keep down like this. You know, and they're going to have ground game too. So this one was kind of a gimme. It was supposed to be a gimme for either one of them, I believe, because they both were fighting somewhat of a kryptonite style to what they have. So it could have been Gabriella getting a knockout, right? Or the way it went, Tereza Bleda getting the finish on the ground. You know, that's how it went. Fernandez, one trick pony, also has a lot of work to do. I don't know how long she lasts. I don't know either. I mean, she's 0-2 now. And if Gabriella is getting taken down by Tereza Bleda, I don't know who else she can fight that's just going to be like a fighter that stays on the feet. I don't know if there's going to be another fighter that just stays on the feet for Gabriella Fernandez where she can just win. Like, even again, bringing the Ariane Lipsky name up. I think Ariane Lipsky would outstrike her because she has better footwork and much better, quicker hands, you know, quicker right hand. Gabriella versus Victoria. Oh, Victoria Leonardo is gone. And Veronica Macedo, I actually would pick Veronica Macedo in that fight, or Veronica Hardy. Yeah, get Victoria Leonardo. She already got cut. But yeah, I think Gabriella versus Juju. And if she loses to Juju, then she gets cut. Yeah, I think Juju Miller might actually win that fight, or Veronica Hardy. I just think that Gabriella, like, she'll overcommit to power. Like, she just won't like find a good rhythm to get in and use lateral movement and set up the power. You know, like Natalia Silva does. You know, she's speed, but she has power, but she's quick. You know what I mean? Like, she can set up her shots. Like, I think after a while, Gabriella kind of telegraphs it. And that's how the first takedown came, right? In that first round, whenever she threw a body kick. Was it a body kick? And Tereza Bleda caught it and took her down. I know she tried to, Gabriella tried to grab the fence, but yeah, she took her down off of that body kick. So yeah, again, you know, trying to match them up with fighters that's going to get them an easy win is going to be hard. Like I think this, like I said, was the only time you see her give me with either one of them. For Tereza, she's gonna be fighting, fighters with quicker hands, better takedown defense, also with good ground game. But at 21, I think she has the ability to grow. I think she has the ability to adjust now. Like go back and look at this one and just go from there. Bleda versus Maverick. Oh man, I don't know if she's ready for that one though. I think I don't know if Teresa's ready for that one. I think at least Maverick could get somebody that's a little bit higher. But I think Tereza Bleda, she probably could fight somebody like one of them needs to fight Juju and Veronica Hardy. Either one of them can fight Veronica Hardy or Juju, really. And throw Mandy Bohm's name in there too. Like maybe Teresa versus Mandy Bohm or something like that. Uh, then you have a Gopov. I don't know when she's coming back. I think JJ Aldridge, no, like she's too much one of the seasoned unranked fighters for either one of them. One of them lose to her, then they both one of them lose to JJ Aldridge, they would definitely get cut because they probably would get dominated. Ian Baller said give Blade one more fight, one more win before giving her Maverick. Yeah, that's what I say. Give her one more like other fighter. Because Maverick, I still consider her like more of a seasoned unranked fighter. She's been in the UFC now for like 3 years and she's fought better fighters. She's already fought like Macy, Aaron, Mazo. Who else did she just fight? Jasmine, Jillian Robertson. But yeah, I think that Blade might need like one more before she should fight somebody like Maverick. Yeah. Gary said just cut bone. She got her victory. I think this would be the fight. Bleda, Gabriella fight. Bone, Gapova. Who else did I say? Juju. When's Juju's next fight? Then Veronica Hardy. Veronica Hardy's got some experience over both of these fighters, so that might be messed up. Straight as a first round, Bleda caught a kick and took her down. Second round, exactly the same thing. Gabby got no IQ. That's pretty much what it was. Like, I think we were all pretty much feeling that way. Like every time Bleda gets on the inside, maybe gets an underhook and gets Gabriella's back to the cage, she's got no escape. There was a point where Gabriella had a good chance to escape when she had got the back of Teresa when they were standing. And if she could have just like had that hip control, like or turn control, she could have spun her out and got to the center of the cage. But she stayed too long. Teresa took her down again. But yeah, that first one came from the body kick. And yeah, the second one just took her down. And third one took her down again because Gabby just did not turn it on. Like she had Teresa hurt. Like I literally thought, this is it. Teresa won the first 2 rounds and now she's about to get stopped. But she showed some heart, man. She came back and said, nah, let me finish this round out. And not just finish it or survive, but she did win the round 2. So that's good on her. That shows some type of initiative and want in the fighter. And like I said, we're not overhyped. I'm just saying, like, you at least want to see that. You at least want to see that in a fighter. That tells you at least they want to get better. Whereas Gabriella, like, got full mount again, like full mounted 2 times in this fight and just kind of lay there and took it. There was never any bucking to try to get her off. No hip control, no, nothing. Yeah, Maverick would win that fight. I still believe, yeah. Ian said, did I make a prediction on Dumont Chandler? I think Chandler's a weight bully and can't weight bully the dump truck. No, I think Chandler's at the right weight. Like 145 is a good weight for her. I didn't make a prediction on it yet, but I think that's a good weight for her because I've talked to her before, and like 135, she'll do. They'll do that weight, but it's rough. Like she said, that's a rough weight cut. But 145 is a much easier weight for her to make. I think anything like 155 be too big for some of these fighters. Straight said it might not happen if they cut 145. No, they still got 145 going. They're not going to cut it yet because Carol Rosa and Yana are actually fighting at featherweight. Yeah, they're not going to cut it yet. Yeah, yeah. EMP said they won't cut it now. Maybe after. Yeah, they're not going to cut it yet because they got two fights already scheduled. They just scheduled Yana since Macy Chiasson pulled out of her fight. So now they got Carol Rosa at Yana at 145. Yana just announced on her Instagram that yeah, she's gonna be fighting at featherweight. So yeah. Oh, you said she weight bullied her opponent? I don't think so. Like, wasn't her debut? Wasn't that fight at 140? It was actually lower, right? It was like actually a catch weight. Yeah, it was actually a lower weight, right? They fight at 140, and that's a good weight for Stoyarenko because it was Stoyarenko she fought, right? Because Stoyarenko actually passed out trying to make bantamweight. So if anything, Stoyarenko should have had kind of an advantage in that fight, or she should have been at least a weight that she could fight at. So I thought it worked out. Yeah, 145 is still gonna be around for the next couple of fights though. For at least let these other two fights get out the way. So let me see. Marcus said that Amanda's still in the rankings. Maybe they officially didn't take her out yet, but uh, I'm not thinking that Nunes is about to make a return, right? Maybe they just haven't updated it because Amanda's still pound for pound. She's still number one. Maybe they're just doing that to bug Juliana Pena, right? Yeah, Nunes is still ranked all around, pound for pound. They might just be doing that to bug Juliana Pena to make her mad. Gary said he's off the Blade of hype train. Yeah, I mean, look, I understand. I'm not hyping a fighter. See, me when I'm watching these fighters, I'm not. I'm just telling you to look, see what they can do and what they're capable of. But like hype to me is like whenever people say this person is going to be a next champion. Like that was like when Macy Barber was around. Her herself and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this girl's going to beat Valentina." Nah, like that's crazy hype. You know what I mean? Like I see something in certain fighters where they can have potential to grow. You know what I mean? And just um have that potential and then maybe work their way to get there. But you know I rarely find somebody that's gonna be like, oh yeah, this person gonna be number one. You know what I mean? The only ones I do that with are like Suarez. I always feel like that about Tatiana Suarez. Like Tatiana, she guaranteed that belt. Watch this. Suarez gonna get that belt in 115. And even then I just be joking, I just be messing around. But she has potential to get that belt now. But anything can happen, especially with Lemos right there. Lemos, Suarez said that she feels Lemos can beat Whaley. Y'all hear about that? Y'all hear? Y'all know that? Yeah, probably just a buzz Pena. I'm telling you, man. They keeping her right there, man. Just a bug Pena and Valentina. Jerry said he gave Bleda the benefit of the doubt with Natalia, but this fight was the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah, it was a big time. Like I said, they both were set up to. They both could have got the victory in the. They both could have lost in the fashion that they lost in their last fights. And that's what it was. Like one of them was going to lose in the fashion that they did in their last fight. Tereza showed that hole in her game again. Got tired. Could have got stopped. It came down to resilience in this fight. It came down to who wanted it more. Gabby was getting put on her back constantly. Constantly. Just had that puncher's chance. And that's what it really came down to. So when you look at it, when it's all said and done, now they're pushing forward. Even though she's on an 0-2, two fight losing streak now, Bleda still has a lot of work cut out for her. And she's only 21, so it's not over for her, though. It's clearly not over. Like she could get cut one day. You know what I mean? Come back. Sometimes that might be better, but now is the time is to crunch. It's crunch time. You know what I mean? Like this division is tough. They just signed that other girl. What's her name? Ivana Petrovic. So they're getting serious. I don't want to talk about Nunez, but she talks about her for an hour. Oh yeah, Zook Ocampo is coming up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It should be on soon. I think it ain't gonna be on for like another hour. Yeah, like the undercard is gonna start here soon, but I'm gonna check that out too. I'm gonna play that side by side with the Whittier Canyon Vittori Canyoneer card. But yeah, I'm about to jump on and watch some more of these fights, y'all. We'll talk some more later. Shout out to y'all that came through in the chat. We're just discussing this fight. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think, man. What's next for these girls? But yeah, right now, 2-fight losing streak for Gabriella, man. It's not looking good. Shout out to Bleda. She got the victory. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.